Are you struggling to find love and happiness? I'm Coach Riana Milne. For over 40 years, I've helped thousands of clients create the life they desire and have the love they deserve. Join our Singles, Life and Love Transformation Group, a program designed to heal your past childhood and love trauma and teach you how to attract emotionally healthy love for lifelong relationships. Space is limited. Go to the link below for thousands in savings.
Okay, everyone, welcome and happy spring. I'm Coach Riana Milne. I am here to help you create the life you desire and have the love you deserve. I have some fabulous folks here with me today in the background in private, and they are joining us for the class. And I'm so happy to have them here live with me, but this is for the replay tape as well. So those that could not make it today, at least will get the information. There's so much to teach you. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to do a little bit of PowerPoint. There's going to be Q&A at the end, so I personally answer your question. I will be sharing the screen, and there are lots of free gifts for you today, 2 free reports on how to have emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious love, and to feel self-love, right? To feel amazing about yourself and positive about you and life. And when you carry that energy out to the world, it is so easy to meet people. We were chatting before the tape was rolling with my new friend Ronnie, who I met on a singles cruise, and we met lots of fun people. And we were out in Delray, and I said, how easy is it to meet people, meet men? And she goes, oh my God, it's so easy. And we met 5 great guys last weekend just because we just said hello, and our energy is good. And that's just the way it works. So I'm going to get into a lot of that today. As I announced also, that I am joining forces with a travel company called Trauma-5. There's going to be a lot of announcements about joining us on Singles Cruise. I will be speaking on there, as well as hosting and having a great time with everybody else in the pool. That's what I did on the other Singles Cruise. So I'm happy to be a part of that. And you will hear a podcast coming up very soon with Shelby, the owner of Trauma-5. I'm just really excited about that new development as well. So I can meet a lot of you in person. Okay, let's get you rolling. So you are here for healing past childhood, love, and vicarious trauma. I have not spoken on vicarious trauma only until recently, in the past couple of weeks, when I wrote this presentation, because it is so prevalent in our world. And you're going to learn more about that. We're going to go into also 5 ways to start your healing journey, 5 good solutions to get you rolling and create the life you desire and have the love you deserve. Always want you guys to have incredible love. We're going to have you understand 3 types of trauma impacts your life today and how to start your healing journey. The 5 ways to create the life to desire. We're going to cover understanding the 3 types of trauma, how they impact you in life and love. What I call the yin-yang theory for a new approach to life and happiness, a process our clients do called capping and correcting the negative fear-based thinking and being. And this is so prevalent. When you heal this in your life, it's so easy to hear and recognize the negativity in someone that's in your company. And we want to help them, but they don't even see it for themselves. It's a very subconscious thing. It's actually a way of being that happened when you were very young. It's your childhood dynamics. And this is something we're very conscious about. Full conscious awareness is what I teach my clients. And really only about 6% of us live in full conscious awareness in our world. The rest are just going remote. They just say what they say, do what they do. We think about what we do, what we say, how we act, what we write, what we text. Everything is a conscious decision. And that's how we've trained our mind to be. Soon that becomes our new norm. All that negativity is just gone. Okay, holistic approaches to improving your mind, your body, your spirit. All my clients are not on psychotropic drugs, what you might hear of a lot of people on anti-anxiety or antidepressant drugs. If they come to me with that, we wean them out because you don't need it. It's healing the root of the issues and changing your mindset around that. Getting professional help. I hear over and over again, well, I've been in therapy 6 years or 8 years or on and off for 20 years. The thing is, guys, therapists, and I'm one of them, so I'm not bad-mouthing a therapist, but we did not learn about childhood trauma. That term childhood trauma was not mentioned in my triple masters of clinical psychology. So there's a big difference between what counseling does and what coaching does, and a lot of people don't realize it. So I thought I would tell you that. But if anyone here has ever been in counseling for over 6 months, it's not working. This is an intensive program that I put my clients through, but it's fun, it's joyful, and it's so cool because you feel so fantastic. And it's really focusing on propelling you into the future that you desire. And that's why coaching is so profound. And that's why I do that today versus the counseling model. I still have my license. I'm still a licensed mental health counselor. My people that invest with me, they kind of get two in one. I am a therapist, but the coaching model is so much more successful in changing people's lives. So that's why I'm really into that. And of course, your 2 free special reports and thousands of incredible offers today. See if you feel like any of these resonate with you. Just put it in the chat, number 1, number 2. Sometimes, you just might feel lonely, but frustrated about finding love. So you stop dating completely, or you're just settling for the person that you're with. Or you're tired of attracting narcissists, users, and abusers, and not getting your dream of a loving, emotionally healthy relationship. You might just feel stuck or too exhausted to create a new life for yourself, including new projects, or go out to meet new friends, attempt to lose weight. You just feel a lack of joy and fun in life. I was on with one of my clients this week. She reported she lost 35 pounds in the 6 months that she was with me, and she's feeling phenomenal. So we look at everything. What is the life you desire? One of those was she needed to lose weight, and she couldn't no matter what she did. You can with mindset work. Next, you're down on yourself. You feel anxious or depressed much of the time. You lack confidence and self-esteem, but you're unsure what to do to fix that. Or you might get emotionally triggered, stressed out, and burn out easily. Those are people with so much worry on their mind. It's always this feeling of exhaustion. Or you may be at that phase, your life is pretty good, but you've been dating and just can't find that right one. You want either a marriage and a family, if you're a younger person, or a retirement person. You want someone to enjoy life with in your older years. And you finally want the exact skills to attract an emotionally healthy partner and to sustain your relationships over time. A lot of people can date, it lasts a couple of months, then it just fizzles out. And it's okay to decide this is not the one because you're seeing unhealthy things emerge, which the research shows usually occurs between 4 and 9 months of dating someone. But in general, you really want to switch up everything about how you're feeling, about yourself, about how you've been choosing partners. There is a better way based in research. So you're really ready to feel confident and empowered about your life and love relationships. So yes, all my teachings are from deep research. I am a total learning nerd, always reading. I'm always taking classes. This week I had 3 classes I was in. And, but I love this because I can bring this information to you guys. There's a real and serious connection between all 3 of these traumas. And you need to heal from past childhood trauma, which is initial trauma, to make both your life and all your relationships successful. Now, some people that don't know me well would say, well, I didn't really have childhood trauma. I had a few bumps in the road. That's what I thought. And so I started doing this trauma. And after my second love trauma, I'm like, what's going on in my life? Went to 7 therapist friends. Nobody knew what he had. Nobody could help me, although I was in shock over what my ex-husband did. However, there was no one that could help me with healing. And it's like, I got to heal myself. And meanwhile, I'm still a therapist helping my clients on how to put this personal life aside and deal with that later and help my clients be present for them. But the deeper and more research I did, and I discovered childhood trauma was the impact of all of this. I'm like, oh my God, I have to take the message to the world. So that's how I got so passionately involved with this work. Today, it's really important too that we want to positively handle the world events without stress, burnout, fear, negativity, and depression. It is coming at us 100 miles an hour. And that is what we call vicarious trauma. And so many people get personally infected to the point of physically ill. I mean, when we're seeing the images on TV and of the war, I mean, it's mind-blowing to think we have a Russian-Ukrainian war today. I mean, that's just so sad to me. Being someone that traveled to Russia, St. Petersburg in 2019, there's no way that those people of that community want that war. They were lovely, lovely people. And that's why I love world travel. It's one of my passions, because it's just seeing the cultures and meeting the people. We're all God's kids. We all want peace and happiness. And we're all being greatly impacted by COVID and the aftermath of that and supply chain and just add it all up, right? But there's a way to handle this with our mindset and still have happiness in our lives. Also, there's a lot of dating and relationship advice out there, I know, but there's none that get to the deeper psychological issues and the root of the unconscious behavioral patterns. That's why I'm very, very different in what I do. And singles aren't really aware that they even have this or they're doing these things because nobody has taught them or pointed them out. And it's not like it's a fast lesson to teach. Grads can tell you that there is much information for them to learn, but it's a step-by-step process. And it's taught in a very easy way. I'm not psychobabble at all. I'm very down to earth and loving in my approach. And I'm very passionate about it because I was there at one point of not knowing why was I attracting toxic people into my life and how do I heal from that. They all have this mindset for success in life and love, and it carries over into all your areas. But I don't want you to worry because where you are right now today is perfect, especially because you're with me today, right? So I got you. And if you were struggling up to now, just know this was not your fault because no one taught us how to increase our self-love or esteem or our confidence to date successfully. How did we learn? We listened to songs like our Michael Jackson songs. We grew up with our love music, our romance novels, our movies. That's how we learn fall in love by chemistry. Oh, he's hot. Yeah, I think I'll date him. Well, that's the worst approach we can use. It's not about the outside. That's only what we call the icing on the cake. Everything is about the inside. Who are they as a person? This is most important. So successful results for love relationships come from the research and are more complex than most singles think. Again, chemistry is not the answer to success in love and sustainability. There's more emotionally intelligent and successful ways to date that gives you a psychological edge to attract and have emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious love. And our clients are the choosers. We choose who we want to date. We can meet a lot of people. Then we select who is the right one. Okay, so today you're going to get gifts worth thousands because I love to give gifts. There's something for everyone when you stay to the end. The 2 free bonus reports, these are brand new. 32 tips to build conscious awareness and create happiness, and increasing self-love, confidence, and conscious awareness while decreasing the unconscious fears, burnout, and stress. And then there is a special class promotion today for anyone that has not had a Life and Love Transformation Discovery session with me. It's 90 minutes that I spend with you. 1 hour, you do 6 simple assessments. They're checklists, very easy. But I have the talent from my research to look at your prior childhood and early relationships and how this is showing up for you today in life, love, or business. And I make the correlations. And then I suggest how you can get help. If anyone here in the room has had them, and I know a couple of you had, maybe you want to put some comments in the chat about what you learned in your discovery session. A lot of people are like, oh my God, like I've been in therapy 7 years. I haven't heard any of this. No wonder this is happening to me. And it's a big aha moment. Also, there's $16,000 in promotional savings for the Life and Love Transformation Singles Group that starts Monday, March 20th. That's why we have April in here and Triona. They're part of the group now that they took advantage of those promotions. So those of you who do not know me, and those that do, I'm sorry for this introduction. You've heard it every time you're in a class, but I often get some new people. So you should know who I am to coach you today. I am an award-winning global certified life, love, trauma, recovery, and mindset coach. I'm what's called a CCTP Advanced Level 2, specifically trained in healing emotional trauma, which again, licensed mental health counselors or licensed social workers are not unless we elect to go for those higher credentials. I am still a licensed mental health counselor. I'm also a licensed drug and alcohol addictions counselor. I'm host of my podcast, Lessons in Life and Love. I did a whole docuseries called Radical Dating, Finding Lasting Love Over 40. And my client, Scott, was the first to date, first to be exclusive, and first and only to marry. And I did my trauma recovery work behind the scenes. I said I have to because Scott had a very tragic love story where his partner was killed by a car right in front of him. So that was very sad. And he also had some childhood wounds that I had to help him with. So that correlation, healing all that, and then getting him back out to trust and love again. And he did. I'm the best-selling author of 10 books now. I think I'm up to 13. Okay, these are just some of the things I've been on. One of my favorite gigs was doing the 9/11 news reports on all the major channels, how to help people heal from the trauma of 9/11. Was 23 years of healing trauma. So whether it was for children in the school from grades kindergarten through college, and the mental health ward that I worked in Atlantic City for kids 5 through 19, women from the prison system that ended up as addicts and on the streets of Atlantic City. I dealt with all kinds of ages, populations, races, and cultures, and the childhood traumas were the same. And that's why I say childhood trauma has no prejudice. And I just got word yesterday I'm going to have another cover for Influencer magazine. So pretty excited about that. That should be out, I guess, in a couple of weeks. So this is the cover of my podcast if you're looking for that. And my books, Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams, #1 bestsellers on Amazon. Got up to 400 pages on love. That's when I started all the research. I'm like, oh my God, I got to stop. And people love that. They said they've read it in 2 nights. And I'm so glad that has brought such a difference to so many lives. And its partner book is Live Beyond Your Dreams, which is about the mindset for success. So they're meant to go together. Okay, so what is trauma? A big T event involves a single experience, like having a car accident and losing a limb, or having a date rape in college, something very traumatic, one event. Or little t trauma means enduring repeated or multiple negative experiences, mostly emotional, that completely overwhelm the individual's ability to cope or process the ideas of what is happening or the emotions involved with that ongoing experience as they occur and into the future. And when these things happen, when you're a little person, we do not have the mental capacity to really deal and cope with them. So our child mind creates other ways of doing that. And then they become psychological norms, behavioral patterns for us that as adults, then they no longer serve us. So the 3 types of trauma, to break them down further, childhood trauma actually happens in utero when you're not even born yet. Because if you have a very anxious mother or a mother that's using drugs or alcohol, the fetus is obviously impacted. Also, the research shows if you are of the lineage of a Holocaust survivor, they tend to be much more anxious individuals because of the severe trauma they went through. Obviously, a big T trauma over and during periods of time, that it actually changed the DNA. Now, since COVID was so impactful, they now say since 2021, 100% of us have had childhood trauma. Think of all our children going through that around the world, right? Seeing, all this death and all these messages of death. Childhood trauma has a huge impact on our lives and goes through at least 3 generations. Love relationship trauma includes all forms of abuse. Anything you're hearing verbally, like put downs, or emotional, physical, financial, like trying to control you or ripping you off, which I had a financial trauma. With my husband, he took $200,000 from my mother, and I had to pay that back over 16 years. That's a financial trauma. Could be bullying, put downs, cheating. Actually, sexual dominance should be on there. Codependency, love addiction, living with an addict or a narcissist. The list goes on and on and on. So what is happening from your original childhood trauma, you're attracting those types of persons into your life until we heal the original traumas. Then the third and the newest trauma I'm describing is vicarious trauma. And this is from the constant stress of our global environment on the individual, the couple, and the family. And these are just a few I listed. COVID, global work shutdowns, isolations, parents working and schooling from home at the same time, vaccine debates, should I get it, should I not, and then the injuries that are occurring, political issues, the cover-up, presidential control issues, the Russian-Ukrainian war, supply chain, low food, even our toilet paper, like everyone's freaking out because our basic needs were not there on our shelves. The Fed spending out of control in the US, stock market declines, price gouging for food and gas, and need we say more. So this is constant. So how do we get our inner peace and still get that? This is existing, but I'm choosing to have this world instead. This is all coming down to mindset. So the impact of traumas are the same on many areas of the brain and body. And I'll just give you a little science here. Humans repeat what is familiar because the triune brain, which is called the reptilian brain or the old brain, and the prefrontal cortex functions to keep us alive and safe, which is called homeostasis of the brain. So it likes what it knows, even though it could be bad or good. It can't decipher between bad or good. The frontal lobe of the brain here is impacted by negative repetitive messages or actions in your childhood years. You have trouble feeling safe, even though you really are. And you seek connection and safety through others, often attaching too quickly, too severely, too intensely, coming across too needy or too demanding. The automatic nervous system, which we call the ANS, is formed by our environment. It's shaped by what you see, what you hear, how you react to those experiences. So they form the patterns in your younger years that tend to stay with you until we break them. The relationships and trauma you have in the early years impact how we respond in our world as an adult and with repetition of the same events. So these then become hardwired into our subconscious brain. That's why a lot of people don't even realize their negative patterns are existing. As their coach, it is my job to point these out as I'm going along and working with people. If I see it once or twice, I'll let it go. If I see it a third time, I'm like, I want to point something out to you that I want you to work on for me. And that's how I will do it because they don't even see it. It's so normalized. So I'm helping them change their unconscious thoughts, their anxious, their actions, their behavioral norms, and the reactions to things. And then their new norms are creating this life they desire. It's really phenomenal to see. So understanding these types of trauma are certainly really important. The 7 trauma areas that trauma impacts. So you want to learn and eliminate for good the negative, unconscious, fear-based thoughts and destructive, repetitive, unhealthy behavioral patterns that's causing stress and destroying your life and love relationships. And I always say, without healing, does love really stand a chance? When I'm teaching one client emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious love, and I'm thinking of Bob because he's going to be on my podcast, you are going to learn this and you can change the whole pattern of your marriage by learning this. Because if one person changes, the whole relationship changes. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. He decided to go for it as a single, but in a coupled relationship. And that's what we end up often in our groups as well. I have had married people, I have separated, thinking of divorcing people, and totally single. It doesn't matter. I'm here to help everyone. But they are learning dating skills in case they need to move on. They're fully aware of how to handle that if they decide to move forward with a divorce or full separation. These are the 7 areas. You have not seen this map before. So many people think, oh, it's just childhood trauma. What's the big deal? Well, there's 7 life areas that it really impacts, starting in the 1 o'clock position. Physical health. This is real. The fibromyalgia, Epstein-Barr virus, poor immune system functioning, cardiovascular diseases, actually shorter lifespan if you cannot rid yourself of this constant anxiety and depression, eating disorders. Let's move into position 3, the emotional things, trouble recognizing the emotions. You can't see what you're doing. Limited coping skills. If you do have a breakup, you're mourning this, or what we call ruminating about this partner for months and months, sometimes years, and you're stuck in there. You can't move yourself forward. If we have a breakup, it's like we ended on a beautiful note, like, really nice to meet you. Thank you for our time together. I just don't see this working. Goodbye, good luck, and God bless. And in our mind, we're saying next. Okay, relationships. This is where we're talking today. Some attachment problems come off too hard or too lax. You want love, and then you might break away from it. Problems in romantic relationship. Let's go over to mental health. Most of my clients have ongoing anxiety, bouts of depression, some low self-esteem. So I help them with their self-love, their confidence. What is it they need or want to do? What do they desire? If they want to desire to lose weight, I get them in that mindset. You know, I was talking to one of my clients, it was her last session, and she said, Riana, I haven't had a date in 10 years. And she's been dating someone for 3 months now. She was on the tail end of her group program. And she goes, I can't believe how well this works. And she's a therapist. So she's a perfect person to be a coach because I'm so busy, like I need help. So I am looking for coaches in my future. But I said, I'm so glad that you love this. And she goes, I couldn't believe how fabulous this was and how much I've learned. Because us therapists, again, never learned this model. So it's very, very different. The behavior and then cognition and brain development is more around the impact of children. So when I'm working with young children, yours or in the school systems, this is something that I was very much aware of. Those kids identified as ADHD, often misidentified. I knew they were coming from traumatic homes. We were doing meditation and music therapy in my office, behavior modification. So whenever I work with a parent and I know their kids are struggling, that is very much a part of our conversation because I'm so pro children. Not only do I have 2 fantastic daughters, but 6 grandkids. So yes, I'm really into let's get their mindset right as young as possible. So any parents in the room, I am here to help you. Being a woman that went through love trauma with my daughter's father, I thank God I was studying mindset since my teens because I could stay very positive and I could work out of it. I didn't have time or the desire to be a victim. The moral of the story is no matter what comes flying at us, we are so focused and in our Zen with our meditation and our mindset that we still create the life we desire. We don't, it's almost like Teflon. It just flies right off of us. And that's the power. That's why we call this an empowerment model. Childhood trauma, the shocking truth is, again, 100% of us have this. So we need to know how to work with it. Again, it goes through 3 generations and it can change our DNA. Childhood trauma unheals, impacts our adult love and family relationships. It is linked definitely to the newest trauma, vicarious trauma, from these ongoing global crises. So if you haven't healed the childhood trauma, you are probably finding yourself in a more exhausting state of being, more agitated, higher anxious, just because of all the world stress. It is triggering a lot of the adults and many of the children. And again, children don't know how to handle this kind of trauma, so they are either acting out in anger or their isolation. They're either externalizers, they're acting out, running away, or the internalizers are the cutters, self-mutilating, suicidal kids. Either way, we've got to help our children. My quote was, when I was at the left side of this, the healing rainbow, I can't change what I don't know or understand. And I was saying it about myself, and that is my quote. That's when I said, I got to find the research. Nobody knows how to help me, and I have to do this. That's what sent me into the psychological journals and hours of research. We have to examine why we do what we do, the severity of the traumas that you experienced. And that's why I do a discovery session for everyone before I work with them. I have to know you. I have to know what's going on so I know how to help you. Your parents react to the traumatic experience. We have to look at that. And then we have to remember they had trauma too. So their responses were probably not the best. And then what is the proximity of you to that traumatic experience? How involved were you with that? So these are all the things I look at when I go to help you. And I'm writing a blog series, 50 ways that childhood trauma comes out and how we can start to help heal all this. And this is just a few of them. Bouts of depression, anxiety, fears or panic attacks, faulty coping and behavioral patterns, low self-esteem, not feeling good enough, quick to anger, having ongoing moodiness that seems erratic, codependency or love addiction. You could have bipolar or borderline personality disorder because if you grew up with a parent like that, you very much might have taken on their personality type. Could be narcissistic or a sociopathic person. They usually tend to be those with 9, 10 traumas out of 10 with levels of 8, 9, or 10. They're more common than what you think. They're saying 2 out of 5 people have sociopathic tendencies. So you really want to know how to identify them. And if you see them early on, then that's when you leave the relationship. You often feel disorganized, cluttered, or messy, or irresponsible. You often blame others instead of taking responsibility. You're impulsive in your words, your actions. You could be hurtful to others. Fear of abandonment, insecure, jealous, or controlling. Or it could also feel like the victim. Everything's wrong. Everything's a problem. Refuse to apologize or forgive, or you shut down emotionally. That's that passive aggressive person. And a history of poor relationship dynamics, or to find love, you get into quick sexual encounters and hope that will lead to love, which is one of the worst things you could do. Because usually, yes, the men will take the sex, say thank you, and move on, and that leaves your self-esteem feeling even worse. You may find yourself attracting narcissistic partners that rope you into toxic cycles of fighting and making up, verbal or emotional abuse, who constantly shut down, passive-aggressive, or show dysfunctional behavioral patterns that ruin your chance at this emotionally healthy, loving, and lasting relationship. This is a sign, if you're still attracting this or dealing with this, that your childhood trauma still exists. The great news is, of course, this can be healed, leading you to happiness and incredible love when we stop these patterns that are keeping you stuck in this type of relationship. Ask yourself, do you have any of these behaviors? And let's get into part 2. Why do they happen? Like, show me, Riana, some of the bridges here, okay? And again, this is just a small sample. There's over 24 combinations that I work with. Here's just a couple of examples. If you feel there's a sense of control over your partner, then you really felt that you had no control in your family environment, whether your parent was drinking or they were fighting a lot or they were mean to you. There wasn't much control around that. Or even as an adult, you feel you lack control in your adult life, so you may then over control your partner. I see this a lot with very successful women in business that's dating someone like not as successful as them. So the man starts trying to control them. That's jealousy. They might have felt not good enough as a kid, or bullied, or put down. Or they could be sociopathic. If you saw the story of Dear John, you should see that. It was on Netflix. It's a series about a sociopath going after a very lovely, successful spiritual woman and his whole childhood trauma. Sociopaths are someone that go after someone for pleasure, profit, or lifestyle advancement, and mostly lifestyle advancement. People pleasing. This is something a lot of women do. They grew up with a difficult parent, so they're like, if I'm the good little girl, or if I'm really sweet, they won't yell at me, or they won't be mad at me or disappointed in me. So they still have this need to be liked. They try to keep peace in their household. They're very often verbally abused as a child or by their partner. Lying for no reason. That comes from being physically or verbally abused. A kid's mind would say, well, if I lie and I get away with this, I have the 50-50 chance of not being screamed at. Blames or won't apologize. Blaming this, you did this wrong, this is horrible, and won't take responsibility, won't apologize. They need to be right. And then had abandonment issues. If that occurred, that leads to codependency and love addiction. So with 8 or more traumas, narcissistic or sociopathic tendencies could emerge. And again, about 1.5 to 2 people are sociopathic. So you really have to know what you're doing when you're dating today.
Do you feel like you have tried everything? Self-help books, therapy, relationship summits, retreats, online courses, podcasts. But you still struggle with toxic love, attracting narcissistic partners, ongoing anxiety, depression, codependency, love addiction, stress, moodiness, lack of hope, feeling stuck in your career, and you just can't seem to get love right. It's time to heal your unconscious behavioral patterns caused by unhealed childhood trauma. I'm Riana Milne, the love trauma recovery expert and certified life and love coach who helps thousands around the world, and I can help you too. I specialize in helping adults heal from unconscious childhood and love relationship traumas, emotional triggers, and dysfunctional behavioral patterns, which have been impacting them negatively in life, love, or business, to transform and create the life they desire and to have the love they deserve. Talk to me today at rianamilne.com and get the free ebook below to learn more.
In my research, I found the dating patterns all the same. The first 4 months are usually fantastic. That's what we call the 90-day rule. 3 months are usually pretty good. There's passion, romance, fun, loving. But then from 4 to 9, or right after they're exclusive, living together, having a baby, married, engaged, whatever, the moods will drastically change, or there's hidden behavior, or the addictions start emerging. These are some other things: fast reactive anger and dramatic responses to you instead of just a normal answer. Emotional numbing or splitting of the personality, meaning like sometimes they're great and other times they're horrid and you never know what you're going to get. Defensiveness or blame, they don't take responsibility, they're blaming you for everything. Impulsive decisions that hurt the relationship and hurt you. Jealousy and control over a partner or your actions or your friends. This is what we call the toxic cycle of abuse. Let's say it begins with some frustration or emotional triggers, that's in yellow. And then something occurs and there's that fast trigger anger, and that's a sign of unhealed trauma, by the way. Then it goes into dysfunctional behaviors like they get mad, they're going out, they're going drinking. That lack of trust from you ruins the passion, the fun, the trust, and the friendship. He thinks just having sex is going to fix everything, and it's not in you, because women, cave women brain, they have to feel safe to be connected and be sensual. The fear, feeling hopeless about the future. You got that walking on eggshell feeling. You have this ongoing anxiety. We go to work or we not work. Then there's the roses and the flower stage, where they might bring you flowers and apologize. And actually the research shows that peaceful period is about 7 to 10 days. And then something happens again. So everybody's either holding on for the beginning, and I hear that all the time. I just want us how we were in the very beginning, or during that makeup stage. There is indeed a psychological art and trauma healing recovery needed to help you break free of these emotional triggers that seem to control how you think, feel, behave, and ruin your life and love relationships. And you can break free of the anxiety, the depression, the fears, and the frustrations you've had while dating or with your toxic partner, to finally have the love you deserve. Here's an example of Karen, one of my New Jersey clients. She was always anxious, often depressed and angry, but she really didn't know why. It was my job to figure it out. She did suffer from a lot of low self-esteem and several no-fault abandonments, but they were big ones. So no fault means you had abandonment in your life at no fault to the person that did it. And here's her story. At 36, my world was spiraling out of control. I thought I wasn't good enough and people in life would be better without me. I didn't know how to love myself. When I was 14, I lost my dad. He died. At 28, I lost my sister. 35, I lost my mom. All the people that loved me left me. I never really learned how to deal with all the loss, and I had a few not so good relationships. I was full of anger and rage. Riana helped me heal, accept, and love myself and my wonderful partner, Raj. So they went on to get married. I was the officiant. Yes, I'm also Reverend Riana. I've been that since 1997. I call myself spiritual, not religious. They have been together since 2006. It's fabulous. That's why I want to encourage you. There is a beautiful world beyond the trauma, guys. It's just incredible. So vicarious trauma has been evident in most of us since COVID has impacted our world. Again, the fears of getting sick or dying, or these vaccine injuries, the low trust in our government, the economic inflation, supply chains, the hookup culture, oh my God, exploding in our younger and our older people. You would think, okay, by 50, people will know how to have a decent relationship. No, I mean, my women are out in dates in their 50s and their 60s, and the guys are trying to have sex on date 1 through 3. It's like, oh, the 3-date rule. I said, yeah, what man made that one up? All right, ladies, do you hear me? Say yes in the chat. If if you hear this on your dates, it's like ridiculous. And that is not leading to love. It's leading to emptiness and loneliness and love trauma. So we have to be strong enough to be empowered to speak our feelings, but still in a kind, loving, spiritual way. There is an art to doing that. Working at home and schooling kids, that led to a lot of isolation, overwhelm, self-medication, a lot of over drinking alcohol, smoking pot, upset, scared students to go back to school after all these mass shootings. And the parents aren't really sure how to handle it. They're scared themselves, So where is it safe? The only thing we can do is the internalizing of our own brain and our bodies and healing ourselves, because all of this triggering is going on. Those without the trauma recovery skills of using mindset, we do goal setting, extreme focus, or having this ongoing stress, burnout, anger, depression, high anxiety, and toxic or no love relationships. The emotional triggering is what we call the fight or flight response. It's from ongoing anxiety leading to exhaustion and moodiness, aggression and rage, inability to discuss your feelings on things, poor focus, forgetfulness or mental fog, irritability, depression, self-medicating or other addictive behaviors. Shopping is one, overeating, over drinking, or that self-centered focus, being passive aggressive, or even being the victim. And people have asked me, where's victim mode come from? And that's a great question. It comes from when you were a child, some person in your world, maybe a grandmother, maybe mom and dad was harsh on you and you would turn to your grandma with a story of why you're sad and they would give you love. So when you would be that victim, you stayed that victim mentality because then at least you would be nurtured and loved, and that became a unconscious pattern for you. Some people have work-related stress, and Jamie was one of them. She says, I had a lot of work on and correct as I was choosing partners who were no good for me. I'm not able to stay relaxed and positive even on the rough days. So she was going to work for a very domineering, critical father. She was a brilliant young lady. Riana changed my mindset and taught me to value and love myself and know my self-worth, my requirements, and my non-negotiables when choosing an emotionally healthy partner. I'm now dating someone exclusively for over 5 months who wants marriage and a family. I've learned to follow my dreams, take risks, and not be afraid anymore to be alone. I feel attractive and amazing about myself. And Jamie's on one of my podcasts because she is now married and they have a beautiful little girl. They're very happy. And again, she had picked somebody who was critical, demanding of her, and sleeping on her couch. She didn't even have his own apartment. So, here this brilliant, successful lady was dating down, is what we call it. So I'm like, no, he's got to go. He's not the one. And now she has an incredible, successful partner, and that's what we are looking for all of you. Here's part 2, the solutions. We wanted to have you understand what the issues were about the 3 types of traumas. So let's get into the 5 ways to create the life you desire, starting your healing journey by cutting the emotional chains that bind you.
Do you have the mindset for success? Or are you feeling frustrated in life or your career? Or stressed you can't find love or happiness? Hi, I'm Coach Riana Milne, and I can help you turn your pain into your purpose and passion by using my Mindset for Success system. Learn the Motivational Mindset for Success coaching system that has helped thousands of my clients over 40 years, and it can help you too. It's time to create the life you desire and to have the love you deserve.
There's 5 ways to find quality love now. 1, quickly notice the warning signs when dating and stop dating despite the chemistry, which we already now know. Brain science shows that it pulls you to your past attachment pattern. Someone says, wow, I swear I would never date an alcoholic because my dad was, but now she has someone that smokes pot every day. Well, it's the same thing, and addiction's an addiction. It's a personality type. That's why some people, when they go clean, the personality still is not corrected. Right? That's the big miss in the drug and alcohol community because they never got to the core issue of what caused the addictive personality type. So you must heal and overcome any childhood trauma patterns and emotional triggers by consciously choosing our thoughts, feelings, actions, words about a person or a situation. Because people pick up energy. Humans are energy, and they can tell, not consciously, I like that person or I don't like that person. Right away. Men have a 5-second rule. They'll decide in 5 seconds if they like you or not. They decide, yes, I'll have a second date, or no, I won't. Why? Energy. Learn how to communicate with love through any issues. Really important. Nobody ever taught us that. Just so you're aware, my first degree from Penn State is in speech communications. I teach a lot about communication rules. Learn to have a psychological edge, emotional intelligence, and spiritual mindset for success in dating and in all life areas, which lead then to attracting and having that emotionally healthy and conscious relationship. Because when you know all this, you would never settle for less. That's the bottom line. So here's step 1 of the 5. We're going to increase self-love, your confidence, your self-esteem, and become successful in all life areas as a single person. So you want to learn the Mindset for Success tools. There is, in our module tool, goal setting. And this is where we actually create, what life do you desire? What don't you have? What do you want? We are going to make that happen for you. Oh, I want to lose 30 pounds. Put it down. Oh, I want to go back and get my doctorate. Put it down. What is it you desire? And then we create this system. And then you start focusing on what you need to do, 3 goals a day, a week, a month. And it starts coming together. By the time you're done working with me in 4 or 6 months, it's amazing how much people have changed. We do this wheel of life exercise with this pie slices, 18 areas we're working on. And that's where those testimonials come from that I send you guys. Okay, recognize your wins daily. This is something people do not do. They don't stop and reflect on their day and their successes. We practice more self-care. Prepare for the day as if you will meet the one. You never know when that's going to be. Ronnie's in this class. She can tell you how many men did I meet by just saying hello last Friday. Hey, how you doing? That's it.
Many, many, and many.
Many. It was kind of our first time out together since we recently are new friends from the cruise. Other people have told me that, like, Riana, how do you do that? I said, I'm just me. But I've been practicing mindset since my 20s, right? So when you are this feeling of joy and happiness, people feel that energy. They want to know you. Like, who are you? Like, talk to me. And then you just make them smile, and then the conversation just flows. You want to show up because you never know. And then get educated. This is so important. You keep learning. I love Tony Robbins when he says, if you're not growing, you're dying, which is true. We always got to grow our mind. It's like feeding it food. You always want a new goal, a new project, a new course to focus on. Watch TV less, read more. Focus on what you desire in life. And to increase joy, fun, and confidence, you also want to read positive psychology. And I suggest my books, Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams. It's a great place to start about retraining your subconscious mind to a more positive mindset. Get involved with spiritual psychology groups and friends. 2 groups I really like, CSL, a Center for Spiritual Living, Unity Church is awesome, or A Course in Miracles. Those are 3 spiritual groups that I really, really enjoy. Do meetup groups. Do singles cruises. Hey, that was my first singles cruise. I really had a blast. I knew 2 people. I knew my friend James and Richie from like a year ago. And from there, it just exploded. Now I'm hanging out with those people all the time, and so is Ronnie. We're having a blast. Do new business or creative project and network with other successful people in business and the arts so you grow your community of networking. Start your own ladies group, your own men's support group around a common topic, and always learn something new. Keep growing. This one is really important, this lesson, and I usually teach it right off the bat in orientation. Before, if there are VIP clients, they may not have even gotten their notebooks from me yet. Group will learn this in lesson 1 because it's starting the mindset theory already, which I call yin yang, only because this symbol, I think, represents exactly what we are trying to do 24/7. So basically, we are thinking about what we're thinking about. You have a choice, and this is very similar with the Course of Miracles philosophy. They say you choose to live in love or you live in fear. Well, the fearful side is what I call living on the dark side of life. That's the dark paisley with the white dot. Living in the light is the white paisley with the dark dot. So here's the 2 contrasts of people, A or B, choosing to live in the dark side or the light. In the dark side, you're reactive with emotional responses. That's where you hear a lot of the victim stuff. I can't do this. Why'd this happen to me? Blah, blah, blah. Living the light is proactive. Well, we could do this, this, or that, right? We're very solution focused. Second, unconsciously acts out. They're not really always aware they're doing. We make very conscious choices. Third, uneducated on mindset tools. They just don't have the tools to know what to do if they're getting triggered. If you're living in the light, we are educated and using the mindset tools always. On the left side, negative fear-based thoughts. That's where you hear, I can't, I won't, it's not going to happen for me, I can't do it mentality. In the light, we're very positive with love-based thoughts. Our thought is always, what can I do? We seek the answers. Here's an example. When we were all told in America, you got to stay in for 30 days, I'm like, wow, I got extra time to do a new project. What can I do? Everybody else like, oh my God, I can't do this. Why me? All this reaction, right? Most people you heard, all the reaction side. And when you live like this, the stress doesn't even hit you. The dark side is where anxiety and depression lie. In the living in the light, this is where we have spiritual faith and trust that the world is happening for us just as it should. And in the left side, you feel stuck in life. You say no a lot to your opportunities. We say yes to ourselves, yes to growth, yes to opportunities. So when you say yes to yourself, so many other things in your life start changing. And when you live your life this way all the time, this is what I see from my clients over and over and over again. Like Dan, he said, I can't wait to talk on your podcast. My whole life, I'm so successful now, Riana. I use mindset every day. And he came to me at 26 years old. He goes, I'm killing it, Riana. I am just killing it. I'm like, good. Come on, tell your story. So that's it, because you say yes, and you get out of this fear-based mentality. And that's when we live large. Going deeper again, the dark side is on the left. The black dot in the light represents challenges that are going to come up for us. And we understand that they must happen for us to grow. So we don't fear it, but we approach it with solutions like, okay, what can I do? Plan A, plan B, and we search for the solution to the problems. The white dot in the dark side reminds us that there is light in all individuals. So we strive for spiritual forgiveness. We understand that none of us are perfect, and we know we all have childhood trauma. There's always a choice to leave the dark side and go through to the light, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. So we always have a choice in life and love to choose love or fear. Now people say, okay, then I'll leave today and that's what I'll do. It's not as easy as you think. My graduates could probably attest to that. So what we do, there's many lessons. In the group, there's 90 worksheets. In my Diamond program, there's 150. And the worksheets are our guide. And we work as a team from what you tell me and what you share, whether it's in group or my one-on-ones with my VIPs. What you tell me, I know then what I have to teach you. So it is a team, unlike therapy, but you're going to see the differences. But it is ongoing practice because we are breaking these very subconscious, strong norms. And it's practice over time. So a conscious mindset, again, everything's a choice. What we think, say, do, text, write, tell ourselves, which is our self-talk, how we feel about ourselves, feel about others. Step 3, learning the mindset for success tools. There's many, many tools that I use. I've been in hours and hours in advanced trauma recovery work. There's tons that I use. Here's one that most people will always need to learn and practice over a 4 to 6 month time period to help rewrite the subconscious thoughts and messages to change the norms and the behavioral habits that don't serve us. I call it capping and correcting. Let's say you have a thought from the dark side, like, I'll never find love. Okay, let's say that. I'll never find the guy for me. Cap and correct it. Absolutely, I will. I'm a good person. I'm kind. I'm spiritual. I'm hardworking. I'm a great mom. I am the whole package. It's just that I need to know exactly what to do. And I am going to do that for myself. So you're capping, correcting with a loving, kind message. When we correct, we are saying something absolutely in the positive. It will happen. It is faith-based. We are believing it to be true. So when it becomes consciously aware of our thoughts, our feelings, how we feel emotionally about it, and then the consequences change, and it becomes our positive way of being. It becomes our truth. Yes, there's a lot of spiritual philosophy in here, but you look at all the top leaders in the world, they're all faith-based, right? There's a lot of great books, Spiritual Laws of Success, Wayne Dyer, the Dalai Lama, Deepak Chopra, Marianne Williamson, who talks a lot on the Course in Miracles. From there, then we have to go into somatic identification. What is happening between the brain and the body and the biology? So I go into that. Again, not a lot of science, just real straightforward education. This is what you can do. This is going to help change this, and this. So we first have to recognize the emotional trigger, seeing where it hits your body, the stomach, the heart, the head, the breathing. Do meditative breaths. You will learn something called divine spiritual meditation. All my clients do it, 15 minutes a day. Practice, repeat over a 6-month period. In the meanwhile, you're also learning communication skills. We're working on your goals. So all those goals like, no, I can't do it. I really wanted to go for my doctor, but no, there's the excuses. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. Well, let's find you the time. Let's find you the money. That excuse mindset is what keeps people stuck in their unhappiness. We say yes to almost every opportunity that comes forward. We think about, does it serve us? Does it serve others? If that's a yes, we say yes. Is it going to benefit me and others? We're always thinking of the other because we're not selfish in what we say yes to. It's like, could this benefit others? It's a lot of different things and lessons that you learn, but you are thinking about what you're thinking about. And then those thoughts over time change. Okay, step 4, holistic approaches to improving mind, body, and spirit, which we call the equilateral triangles. Mind, body, spirit should be equal. Are you being kind to your body? Are you feeding your mind? Are the foods you're selecting for your body organic? We address all 3 of these areas. There's many different balance triangles. This is just one example. Spirituality is really essential to build trust and faith. Trust, I have a formula, trust equals consistency over time. So this is true in dating. The more that person is consistent with you, keeping their word, being on time, calling when they say they will, this will then build your trust. Why go with someone intimately you don't even know or trust them yet? Because women's core need is safety. You can't get away from that. That's cavewoman brain. This is why if you don't know how to date properly and do the trust and the faith exercises, then you're going to end up very often upset in your dating world. Practicing all your trauma recovery skills with your trauma-trained coach builds trust and command over your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Once you have faith and trust in yourself, it's much easier to trust others. Why? Because people say, well, I can control myself, but I can't control the other. I'm like, that's exactly right. If you just observe, we're always observing because we're consciously aware. That's what we call conscious dating. So if we're observing the other's behavior of something that we don't want, we don't see that's for us over time, then we choose to trust that feeling and that knowingness, and we choose that they're not the one for us. So that's why trusting yourself makes it so much easier to date. We give 100% to everyone that we trust, only they take it away. And then we choose, do we stay or do we not stay? Mindset and meditation is a part of spirit. You'll learn divine spiritual meditation, which my clients do 15 minutes a day. This is proven in science and quantum physics to lessen anxiety, depression, blood pressure, and cortisol level, which is responsible for that ANS reactions of fight, flight, or freeze response. It also raises dopamine and serotonin, which are your happy chemicals, levels in the brain, and also increases focus. A balanced triangle, mind, body, spirits, when one is out of proportion, the others suffer. So conscious life balance is a huge part of wellness. Diet choices for the body, eating clean foods, lots of water, getting more rest, 8 hours, no whites in your diet, white bread, white sugar, white flour. The God diet, I call it, eat what God provided for us. He didn't provide stuff in packages, fruits, nuts, berries, fish. Sleep, regular schedule, really important. Vitamin therapy, natural ways to decrease your anxiety, depression, increase anxiety and focus, all naturally. And then do moderate aerobic or strength exercises, at least every other day. Step 5, get the right professional help. And this is the difference between counseling and trauma healing. You need a specialized credential of CCTP. That's what you're looking for, certified clinical trauma professional, to really understand how to treat trauma, requiring hours, trust me, and lots of investment beyond the licensed mental health or licensed counselor social work. And anyone claiming to heal trauma without the CCP, watch out, okay? Especially someone who is not also a licensed mental health counselor. And some of these wannabe coaches have found out the hard way, if there's a suicide on their hands because of trauma, and love trauma can get very, very severe. Trust me, I've had some very severe cases. And some of you who know me, my best friend at Penn State was murdered by her boyfriend. That was a love trauma situation. We were young, 24 years old, but I do my work in the spirit of Corinne. It's very dangerous. And if they are not a mental health counselor or trained in trauma recovery, you should not be with that person. Okay, it's a very serious thing, and they need to be educated. So CCTP-II right now is the highest and advanced credential. If they come out with a 3, I'll be one of the first to get it. Coaching is more educational and rooted in growth, motivational techniques, and skill building to create your future life. Counseling is for those who need time to process and receive emotional support. Think about it. When you go to a counselor, you're just talking. They say, how do you feel about that? And they take notes, and that's about it. As soon as there was a certification, I went for it because I love the coaching model. Counseling's not considered very educational or gives you skills to build on for dating and relationships or trauma recovery. Counseling requires also, very important for you to know, a mental health diagnosis that's going to be part of your health history. This is problematic if you're a police officer, a celebrity, serve in the military. I had air traffic controllers, so they were paying me for coaching early on because they didn't want a medical record. Anyone that wants their medical record kept quiet and personal, everybody goes through stuff. There's no reason to have a diagnosis drag with you your entire life. If you lost someone important to you, yes, you might show up with depression. Why have that on your charts the rest of your life and be turned down for something? I had a young man wanted to be in the military, went through depression. They didn't want to take him. He thought they'd be a suicide risk. So this is what I'm saying. If you want your chart private, coaching has no diagnosis. I don't like putting labels on people. People go through hard times. That's it. That's your situation. I highly say invest in coaching. That's what I suggest for you, and not do the counseling modality if you don't want that diagnosis to stay with you. Coaching also has the goal to move you to a higher level of functioning through the educational skill building and practice process using a program or system that includes my 90-page or 150-page workbook, depending which level you're signing up under. It's for those seriously wanting to change their quality of life right now, not dragging it out for 2-3 years like counseling can. Counseling has goals towards more self-understanding. Coaching helps you grow by learning new skills to make better and effective choices, goals that become specific actions to create the life you desire and have the love you deserve. Counseling processes your painful feelings so they become more bearable. As a certified coach, we practice globally. I can do phone sessions. I used to have an app. I don't have it anymore. I can work virtually, which I do globally now, or in person. We can text and email our clients, and I have that type of support for my VIP diamonds and platinum level, that if they're in a very severe relationship and it's toxic, I want to make sure that I'm close by. I'm like their lifeline sometimes. So those are the people that often work with me on that higher level as a VIP. So they have text access to me 6 days a week and 10 hours a day of support. A counseling client must reside in my state of Florida. I can't do counseling for someone outside of Florida. And their support is only limited to their counseling session. I cannot email them unless it's about their session. I can't text them. We can't have a text relationship. So all that rules and regulations of counseling, which is funny because I also said, no, counseling is not effective online. And I laughed and said, yes, it will be just as much as coaching if they were teaching the right things. And then COVID happens. Now all of a sudden, okay, it's okay, right? But there's a huge difference between coaching and counseling. And that is why the coaching model has so much success in such record time. So what I do is a transformation into your future. You show up to me, who are you today? We process the past. We have to understand it so we can change it, because you can't change what you don't understand. Then we do the work, the skills. And that's when we're going up over the rainbow. That's a learning curve. And then you get to the other side where there is a pot of gold. And that's living this incredible, joyful life. This is where I kind of transform my people here. From the pain side, those fearful unconscious thoughts go into confidence and conscious mindset, where they might have doubted themselves, their success in all life areas. The frustration with dating and love becomes very positive with dating and love. They have tons of options. Where they might not have ongoing anxiety, now there's peace and calm and confidence in their life. They weren't feeling good enough about themselves. And you can just hear it sometimes in common conversation. Oh, I'm this one in my family, or my family thought I was not good enough. Because then you learn to say yes anyway and do things your way, not harmful to anyone, but you don't stay stuck in life not feeling good enough. You have purpose and an empowered life with this mindset skill. Here's a difference between coaching and counseling, and Amber gave a beautiful example. And the first tape I'm going to play is only after 4 coaching classes. And the second one, where you see her picture, that's upon her graduation. And she was in last year's spring singles group.
It has really changed my thinking, my mindset, my before and where I currently am. I feel like it's leaps and bounds of any therapy that I could possibly be getting. I am coming out of a 16-year marriage ending after cheating. I was kind of lost and also scared. And now with Riana's help, I can now see how that happened, why it happened. It's great to have the support. I watched my former partner go through months of therapy, and I am outpacing him within weeks. I mean, I'm happier and healthier, and I know I deserve more. I deserve better, and I totally recommend doing this. Hi, my name is Amber, and I'm currently one of Riana's students in her group. I am coming out of a toxic long-term relationship / marriage of 17 years. People say that it's rough out there now, but I feel like if you have the right tools and the right feedback and your own healing journey, it's actually fun. It's so crazy to think that I've dated now more and I've seen more people than I ever did before being married and deciding such a huge life choice. I think learning all of this has been absolutely instrumental in helping myself heal and giving me the tools to find someone. And so I think it's a great opportunity and investment in yourself.
I would encourage you to don't keep waiting to get help. You know, when we have stories like that, like she outpaced her husband in her healing, she had plenty of people to date. She was actually ended up in an exclusive relationship as she was ending her program with me, and she loved the dating. That's what she says. I'm dating more people than I did before I was even married. Her confidence was there, and he was not a very kind husband. So we had a lot of self-esteem work, self-love to get her back to her very best. So don't keep waiting to get help, because these patterns definitely are bound to repeat themselves, leading to what we call RRS, relationship repetition syndrome, changing. And that means choosing the same type of person over and over again, and more emotional trauma results from that. So our clients boldly face their fears and face the facts from the past. We do that together. We understand why you do what you do. We change that up consciously. And, you know, it's time to finally stop the pain, fear, frustration, and start your healing journey and join the family. So I want to extend the invitation for you to join us for the Life and Love Transformation Program. Includes the program Dating to Mating, which is inside the big program. There's going to be big savings today for singles or couples or separated people that want to join this group. Or there's also a discount I'm extending if you would prefer a one-on-one VIP program with me. That's perfectly fine too. In the group program, this is what's included. We start March 20th, Monday night, 7:30 Eastern, every other Monday. So you have more than enough time to do each module. You do the lesson before you show up. Then there's 1 hour of lesson that I teach. And then the second hour is focused on you, your questions about the work, the module, what you've been practicing, or anything else going on in your life. It can be anything. That's hour 1 and hour 2. The 5-module Dating to Mating course is in there. I'm going to show you what that's including in a second. For March, you get 2 free coaching sessions with me outside of the group. You always do have the opportunity to buy more, but this is included for March. 2 free coaching sessions whenever you choose to have those. 2 follow-up groups. So once you graduate, we will meet again in September. The course ends early August. We're going to meet again in September and again in October. So you're actually with me 8 months right before the holiday season. So I can make sure you're out there dating, doing what you want to do. Like just seeing Val, that was one of her checkup appointments. When I knew then she's still with the same guy, I said, oh my God, this is good. How many months now? She goes, I'm going on 3, so it's exciting. Personal course, your transformation groups, your dating, your relationship skills, It's kind of like a 50-50 program. 50% is all the trauma healing, the goal setting, the mindset work, and then the other 50% is dating and relationship skills for sustainability. The community is awesome. We all get each other. I am your leader. I'm your coach. So I've been where you guys are with any kind of childhood or love trauma. I've had them both, and I'm on the other side, and it's fabulous to be on where the pot of gold is. My passion is really to help you through whatever you might be going through and to help you find amazing partners. Then I set you up with what they call the accountability partners, and Amber referred to that. It's like your check-in buddy. And after a couple of classes, when I get to know you all a little bit better, I put together people who I think are the best partners. And that has worked out to really good lifelong relationships. They stay in touch way after. We bring in guest coach appearances depending on what the group would like. So last March, we had a sex coach, we had a spirituality coach, and another group, we had a financial coach. Whatever you all want to go into, that's what we will bring in. Now, the whole dating to mating system is inside my school. It's called the Life and Love Training Academy.com, and it's 5 modules in there. There's an educational video, PowerPoint, 90-page workbook. You get, pages broken into each module. So you print those down. Audio tapes, if you prefer to be an audio listener, bonus videos, and ebooks of both Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams are in there as well. Plus, there's an educational library, resource library with tons of information that you can download once you get into what we call DTM. Dating to mating. I'm all about education because that's what helps you grow and feel fantastic. Here's another way of it's being listed. Again, PowerPoint videos. The workbook is 90 pages. It helps you with all step by step. We work on it together. The ebooks of Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams, your pre and post audios for each model's workbook section. And then there's more. What do you actually learn in the program? In module 1, this is the understanding the trauma, the leading causes of dating issues, the frustrations of attracting the unhealthy partners, the childhood trauma attachment patterns, why the 10 childhood traumas have direct correlation to you suffering and how to heal them. We do a lot of the mindset work, like I said, right off the bat, because I want to get you right off the bat healing and feeling better. Once I talk about vitamin therapy and you start your meditation, when I teach that, most people say they feel a difference. They feel better in their body about 10 days in. So it's really quite quick that I am healing the biology of trauma as quickly as I can for you guys. Module 2 is this personal transformation, right? Going from fears and doubts and what do I want to do and feeling stuck to this vibrant, growing life. So we're going to create that new life vision, your purpose, your personal goals for growth, the motivation and inspiration for you to change, how to stay calm during difficult transitions, because they're going to keep coming. So how do we heal that? How do we heal that by vicarious trauma, doing all the tools that you're going to learn? And you're going to keep doing the meditation for stress reduction, focus, rebalance, noticing our wins, the psychology. This is going more into conscious awareness. Module 3, spiritual mindfulness, increases your self-esteem, your self-love, your confidence, positivity for happiness. It's funny, by like module 2 and 3, I hear from all my clients, like people are noticing at work. They're like, wow, you're smiling more. You look good today. Or your energy is like so different. What have you been doing new? Like they just see the difference in like 10 days to 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Amber did that first tape. It's like, gosh, I'm changing already. My ex is like stuck in his misery. We move you right forward with us. We go into why spirituality is essential to heal and feel your best, the mindset tools, changing those fear-based negative thoughts and the positive ones, personal transformation, finding the good from the bad incidents, forgiving the past, conscious choices and actions that lead to your success, achieving boundaries in life and in your love relationships. And mindset is something I just love. I've been teaching it since my early 20s. Mindset. If you teach your kids this young, and I have teachers, so I love when the teachers teach their students, right? So when you know this, you start teaching everyone you know, because you know that they can be so much happier in life. Okay, module 4, dating and having the love you deserve, defining and attracting your soulmate, defining your new requirements, wants and needs for your ideal relationship, learning those research-based dating skills, super important, change relationship patterns, empower communication, stopping codependency or love addiction, having boundaries over control or jealousy, how to be a conscious dater who knows exactly what emotionally healthy love is, and who to stop dating immediately because you're seeing the signs, and avoiding the 14 dating traps. And these are pretty intensive. People can say, oh my God, I did this one, I did this one, I did this one. So again, when we see it, we understand it, we acknowledge we were doing it, now we can change it. How to flirt, to have all the dates you want, and online dating skills. And then module 5 is success in love, establishing that emotionally healthy, conscious relationship over time. So 10 things to do right now to find your perfect mate on and offline, your dating and attraction plan and venues for successful dating. I kind of find out where you live. This mindset is, here's these opportunities. I'm saying, yes, I'm going to go meet some people. So we do that, where to go meet people, effective communication rules to get you through those difficult issues. Issues will come up. There's never a reason ever to yell or be yelled at in your relationship ever. You're going to learn that empowered communication to share your heart and your feelings and be heard. And tips for a better quality and passionate sex life, because we all need to talk about our wants, needs, and desires comfortably. So dating to mating in the Life of Love Transformation Group, I made up this little thing one night. D, decide you want love in your life and get the skills you need. A, awake to awareness of what it has been holding you back from attracting that emotionally healthy partner and change those patterns. T, take time to heal from past unconscious childhood and love trauma and transform with a mindset for success system. I, infuse yourself with psychological and emotional intelligence skills that make you happy, joy-filled, and successful as a single person. N, never settle. Know what to do and not do when it comes to dating and partner selection. And G, get the dating and relationship skills you need to attract an emotionally healthy and conscious love. That is the dating system in dating to mating. Erin, here's my first client in Delray. My stuff was kidnapped on the way down from New Jersey to Florida. All my therapy charts, my household goods, everything. I had to come down in my car, thank goodness. So she walks into my office. I had 2 chairs. I said, honestly, I have a whole office suite. She goes, I don't care about your furniture. I'm coming because I think you're really cool. I read all about you online. I can't wait to work with you. So she wanted an engagement. She was dating this very abusive, toxic guy for 7 years. And I knew he wasn't good for her, but I knew she would see the light as she started to getting more educated. I'm never going to stop a relationship. I always say, I just want you to be careful. I want you to learn this. The guy was just like her dad, emotionally and verbally abusive. So that's what she attracted into her life. She writes, coaching with Riana led me to gain my confidence back, getting to a point of happiness and self-worth again. I was lucky to escape the biggest mistake of my life, that of a marriage to the wrong man who was very toxic. I'm now in the most fantastic, healthiest relationship of my life, and we have a beautiful baby boy. I'm forever thankful. So she did marry a top ABC attorney, and they are traveling the world all over the place. The little boy is like 8 now. He's beautiful. She has the dream life. It's time for you to have the life you desire and have the love you deserve. So this group program, I'm with you 8 months. I actually did the math. It's less than $70 an hour. With all the hours and the time I'm putting into all the bonuses I'm giving you for free and everything else, I'm like, oh my God, I got to triple charge for this, but not this year, next year. This is a really great bonus for you guys, well worth the investment. And keep in mind, due to all my credentials, this is completely tax deductible in the USA and many other countries. It's either under mental health or under business coaching, but whatever you invest is a tax deduction. And it's only $3,247 right now. On my website, you'll see it advertised for $4,997. So just by being in this class, you are saving $1,750. Plus, when you pay in full, you can get the Success in Dating program free. It's another fantastic 5-module course, but it's self-study. I know Trione is in that now. If you want to type anything about what you're learning, babe, that would be great. So that's a bonus if you pay in full. If you really would prefer a payment option, there's 2 there, $550 deposit with 5 auto payments of $550 every 2 weeks. And option 2 is $340 down with 9 payments of $340 every 2 weeks. So you still get all the other bonuses. Let me go into what those are. There's $16,000 in bonuses included for you guys for this March class. There are 4 months of coaching. That was the normal dating to mating program that Leah and Jamie and all these other ones have gone through that are married, and the program worked great. But now with this Life and Love transformation, I added 2 months free. Okay, so I'm adding more time to you guys. There is one private session before the program, so you can either do the discovery session, or if you've already paid and done that sometime with me, then there's a 1-hour coaching session before we start on the 20th, because I really want to get to know you guys so I know how to help you best. Then you get the 2 private coaching sessions anytime within that 6-8 month period. You attend all your classes in the 6 months live. Then you get another free session. The resource library is in there. I'm always adding more to that. The monthly bonus handouts, if you signed up in January or February, you've been getting those handouts, and you get them every other weekend until we start. If you pay in full, like I said, you get Success in Dating for free. It's a fabulous, no nonsense. This is what's toxic. This is what is healthy. If this happens to you, this is what you do. Like, for example, do you know what a flying monkey is? Do you know what to do if you have a dine and dash? Do you know what breadcrumbing is? And these are all real life scenarios and terms that are happening in dating world. And I created that course after Dating to Mating because I wanted to make sure my people were really safe. My people had signed up and they said, well, I'm already out there dating. I'm like, ooh, okay, well, you got to be really careful. SID is what we call it. It's awesome. And my girls right now are in there doing that are already in the group for March. They're already doing Success in Dating. Again, this is everything you get in the group every other Monday night, starting March 20th, 7:30 p.m., 1 hour of lesson, 1 hour Q&A, the Dating to Mating course for singles, 2 private sessions meeting with me at a time that you feel you need them, the 2 follow-up group coachings, and this is on top of your bonuses. It's this plus the bonuses, guys. That's why I said I'm adding up all these hours. I'm like, wow, yeah, a ton of value here. The community is very cool, very supportive. Your accountability partner. Guess you want to open up another tab while you're listening to the tape. It's lifeandlovetransformation.com. So we have all ages in there. That's why I work with people 16 to 76. Beth was in her 30s. Nova's in her 60s. So let's see what their experiences was. They were in the same class last spring.
Hey, my name is Beth, and I wanted to come on here and give my testimony for how Dating to Mating has been working for me. I love the program because it's truly opened my eyes to being more conscious in dating versus before. I was very unconscious, not paying attention to red flags, not making sure they're pursuing the things I need to be happening in a long-term committed relationship. So I've been able to identify the red flags, be more conscious of that, and evaluate if they fit my criteria and list of what I need in a long-term partner. It's also been very fun and exciting just to go through the numbers and have fun being pursued. I've enjoyed the process.
Okay, and Nova is in her 60s. She had a boyfriend by the time the class was done.
Hello everyone, my name is Nova Linda Larkin. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I feel so much more confident, beautiful, prepared to go out into the world. I haven't been in the dating world for a very long time after a long divorce. The biggest thing was to build my confidence and my self-worth. That's been very wonderful and it's been very helpful for me. So the class, I highly recommend it. Very hands-on and you get to learn a lot. The biggest takeaway was getting to meet other like-minded women that were looking for love. The class really provided me with the words and what to say because I've learned all of the questions to ask and all the red flags to look for. That's been the most valuable thing for me. Riana is amazing. She's very educated, very loving, and very compassionate to all of our stories, and I want to thank her so much. Enjoy Dating to Mating. I highly recommend it.
This can work for everyone. And if you say no to yourself, you're going to encounter more narcissistic partners. This is the norm in the research. You keep getting these over and over again. So you're losing more time. There's more aggravation and frustration, loneliness and depression, more bad dates with toxic people, fear of not marrying, especially if you're younger and you want those children, low confidence and self-esteem, living in fear and negativity, traumas for your children if you end up with the wrong partner, marrying a partner who's not good for you or your kids, financial hardship or ruin, more anxiety, stress, depression with a vicarious trauma, and dating situations. And Life and Love Transformation.com. It's a very small group. It's intimate for a reason because I'm very invested in my clients' transformation. That's why I have so many hundreds of success stories that I'm glad to share with you. And they give me permission to share their stories. I'm very blessed to be able to what I do. I would love for you to say yes today, yes to yourself, yes to changing your life. It's time to love, time to stop living with frustration, fear, anxiety, and depression, to increase your confidence with the watch me mindset for success. Make every day count, to live stress-free and with purpose and passion, to be evolved, to be the best you can be in both life and your love relationships, to love yourself enough to invest in a gift that will change your life. Overcome the fear of dating by learning how to attract the ideal partner. You'll get valuable research-based information to succeed in both life and love, and learn the exact skills you need to have the amazing relationship of your dream. It's time to have more self-love and the love relationship you deserve. One or two more testimonials, and it's your turn for me to answer your questions. Maria's in her 60s, and she says she did both courses. Before working with Riana, is feeling stagnant in my love relationship path, unsure of myself and how to best have a relationship with a man I love so much. And now we are engaged. It wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for Riana. She helped me with past childhood traumas and helped me to communicate better with my partner. I've gained boundaries and clarity in my love relationship, career goals, launched a new business, and learned to find more balance and ease in my life. Coaching with Riana has been an amazing source of guidance, support, and inspiration at a time when I have needed it most. I can't even fully express the gratitude and guidance that the course, Dating to Mating, and Success in Dating have done for me. I highly recommend Coach Riana. Today also, guys, I told you I have another bonus gift for you. My 90-minute private life and love transformation discovery session. The value is $9.97. It's only $79 if you buy it through this class. So jot down this link. It's bit.ly discovery session class offer. And you can click it. It will open up in another browser for you. Let's get you started here so I can understand what's going on for you, get to the root of the issues and the patterns that you're suffering with. But this is great if you have not done the discovery session yet. Again, it's bit.ly/discovery session class offer. This is just a comment from Kirsten, who was in 7 years of therapy before she heard me talk, I think on a podcast or a summit. And the first thing she did was a discovery session. This is her response about that.
I had just ended a 7-year on again, off again relationship. When it was finally over, I realized was incredibly toxic. I was actually involved with a narcissist, which I didn't even understand what that meant until, I was in so much pain that I wanted to figure out what happened to me. I just was willing to do anything to get over this and move forward with my life. The one thing that you mentioned that really struck me was you had said that a lot of people have these unhealed childhood traumas that if they don't ever work through and figure out, it can lead to continual adult relationships that fail. And then we had that first introductory meeting, and I just feel like you understood me better than anyone. I've had therapy on and off in my life, but I felt like you really got down to the core issues really quickly in a way that nobody ever had.
And she's had therapy for so long, and she never heard about childhood trauma. There's a big miss. One of the clients I was very concerned about, she definitely had a sociopath. I spent a little bit more time with her. I went over that list, gave her some survival strategies because it wasn't only her, it was her 6-year-old little boy too. And she just wrote this after her first session. I wanted to share an update with you since our discovery session. My husband moved out and I filed for a protective order for me and my son because things started to get violent, just like you predicted they would. Once his trauma started resurfacing again after a period of calm, she was in that cycle. You were so right. I was dealing with an unstable, irrational, and delusional person, and everything you told me about him on the sociopathic checklist was him. When you suggested I look further, you were right. I found a secret life, multiple women and escort services were called, and I found out he was doing drugs. I lived with an imposter. I want to send you a billion thank yous for helping me move forward. You're an angel sent from above. You saved my life. I'm pretty intuitive. I always say God gives me what I need to help you guys. And I just knew that there was something really drastic going on here. The one session with her started her and her journey. We could work with her after he was out of her life so she could be safe, because I just wanted her safe. That was my priority. If you want to work with me on a one-to-one private matter, we call that the Diamond Platinum programs. Just email me, Riana Milne at Gmail. No one else answers my emails but me. I'm extending 10% off offer by March 20th. If you decide today to enroll in a group program, then I would honor an upgrade. Just take what you paid and put it towards your one-on-one program, if that's what you decide to do when we meet for a discovery session. If you're comfortable with groups, I have to tell you, our groups are very different. It's not 50, 100, 200 people like a lot of coaches just are going for numbers. I'm going for quality to help you. I mean, this is my passion. This is my purpose in my life. So I keep a very small group for a reason, because I want everyone to have their transformation. But if you would prefer to work one-on-one, it's incredible. You're going to make incredible progress. I only focus just on you. So of course we can go over the differences and you can make a choice, but I am offering you all 10% savings if that's something you would prefer versus group. And this is the last testimonial. Then I'm back to you guys. He's just kind of cute. This is Scott, happily married now 7 years, from the Radical Dating Show. This is the one I said whose partner was killed. He changed so much.
Riana is a wonderful coach, and anybody would be lucky to have her in their life. She opened my eyes to a lot of things, and she made me aware of issues that I needed to overcome. She brought more spirituality into my life and brought me to a place where I'm truly, truly, truly happy. I will say that if it wasn't for Riana, I'd still be going through the same motions every day, day after day. I'd be negative, I wouldn't be positive. And I use sarcasm instead of joking humor kind of thing, because there's a difference, and I didn't know that. You know, I have a purpose in life. Didn't know I had that either. I have a strength in life. I didn't know I had it either. It's just, Riana really helped me a lot. And it's all about relationships. That's all I have to say. And Riana, thank you very much. I love and adore you. And there you go. She's a phone call away, which makes me so happy. If I ever need her, I just need to pick up the phone.
And that's true. Once people coach with me, they're always invited back. I have people come 6 years later, Riana, I need some laser coaching sessions with you, which are 3 to 6 sessions, depending what they're going through. And I always remember them. I always remember their stories. I remember where they were when they first came to me. And this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve and help you guys. I would love to work with you all. And I am going to come back live and click back into all of you. I miss you. Again, jot down the 2 links for your specials today, lifeandlovetransformation.com for the group. And for that $79 discovery session is amazing offer. Okay, so it's discovery session class offer. Can you do both? Can you buy that at $79 and get that free 1 hour prior? Absolutely, yes, you can. I'm easy. Whatever you want to do, I'm here to help you. Also, you get your 2 free ebooks. So I need you guys to remember to email me the answer to the trivia question. Okay, so just jot down my email. It's rianamilne@gmail.com. All right. Hi, everyone. Okay, what questions can I answer for you? I was in charge.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do work with people who are other coaches, like Valerie's a therapist, other coaches that have signed up with me. Oya is a health coach, and so forth. What I would suggest that you do with your extra sessions is let me help you with your business model. Okay, we definitely got to get your business model down. I'm also a mentor to coaches. You can pay for that separately, but I would like to see you really get to know what your model is and help you get more of a business profile. For me, I'm really big-hearted. I'm spiritually based. For me, healing trauma, closeness is essential. Like, I really need them to know that I really care and have compassion for them. So it is like, it's like a loving friendship. But sometimes I'm like a sister. Sometimes I'm like a mother that they never had. So it's more, I'm leading with compassion. I don't put them on my private Facebook page. It really doesn't show that much there anyway, but Then after they graduate, they can go on as a coaching client. My therapy clients cannot. My therapy clients, again, they can't email me, they can't text me. There's more of that rigid role because of my counseling laws are more rigid.
Yeah.
But coaching, especially in what I do in healing trauma, much different than the therapy model. I wouldn't say it's like a friendship. It is a loving compassion. But I also call us a family because we really are, because we really get each other. We really understand each other's pain from the past. Anyone else? I hope you all decide to do some cruises with me down the road too. And I would also just like to know a little bit more about you. If there's anything you're struggling with in life or in love that I can write you back and maybe offer you some advice. If you don't want to share it on the call, I understand. Yeah, email me, Riana Milne at Gmail. Hey, Shell, how are you? There's one of my graduates. Love her. Where's your picture? How come I'm not seeing you on the screen, girl? She also did very well. Can I say how many men you were dating by the time the group was over? 3, I think. I'd love to see their progress. Yes, yeah, she had 3 great guys she was dating. So if there's anything from vicarious trauma in particularly affecting you, and then the other part is, what are you struggling with personally in life or love that I could help you with? And then I respond back. No one gets my emails, only me. I'm very private with your information. I hope you felt you learned a lot, everyone. Okay, if I can help you, please reach out to me. I'm here for you. Riana Milne at gmail.com. Life and Love Transformation. Let me put it back into the chat. I'd love to see all of you in group. You will absolutely love it, just like everyone else did. It will change your life. And I mean that when I say it. It really is incredible. It's a program I'm really proud of, and it's offered at such a reasonable rate. We know where we were, and we know where we are now. And it's just a phenomenal feeling. Triona knows what Dine and Dash and Flying Monkeys are now. That's right. That's right. Success in Dating is a great course. And Shell, thank you for your input. It's wonderful if you like small groups. Yeah. Again, reach out to me. I'm here for you guys. Okay. And I wish you many, many blessings and the luck of the Irish, right? You know, it's like, go out and celebrate my Irish blood. And one day, Triona, I'm coming to your country. I want to go party with you. You have to tell me where you live. I haven't done my Ireland trip yet, you know, but hopefully one day soon. All right, everyone, have a beautiful weekend. Thank you again for spending your time with me. I hope you felt you learned a lot. I will be looking for your emails to turn around your ebooks for you. And let's have a beautiful night. Good night, everyone. Have a great day.
That I called you, I felt so depressed and I just needed help. And you stayed on the phone with me and it was life-changing.
Obviously, I don't want to say like I did this class and this happened, but I think you really did. I think without that, I really, truly, honestly don't think I would be here today talking to you, engaged and happy in my relationship.